Alright, in lesson 4.2, we talk more about relations, and in this case, we're taking a quick look back at graphs. So in this particular one, I'm not going to go through the example up top, I'm just going to look at the exercises. The first thing you're asked to be able to do is if I look at a graph, I need to be able to identify where a point is located. So to start, I want to figure out where is this point A located. Some things to remember is on a coordinate plane, we have positive x's on the right and negative x's on the left, positive y's going up. Sorry, I meant to put a plus on x. And negative y's going down. We always start at 0 when we count. So I'm going to start right here at 0. Now I'm going to first start with the left to right, my x number. From the origin, I need to count to the left 2 times. That means I am at -2. So for A, the ordered pair starts with parenthesis, -2, comma, now the number that tells us up or down. Starting where I left off right here, I am going to count up, however many spaces it takes to touch point A. Well, that was simply 2 spaces up, so 2 in the positive direction, meaning my second number is a +2. So point A is located at -2, comma 2. Let's try that again with B. I'm going to start at the origin again and figure out, do I go left or right? Well, I need to count 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to the right. The right is positive, so my first number is a +4. And then from that point I stopped, I need to count up. This time only 1 space. It is positive because we went up, giving me this ordered pair, 4, comma 1. I know it's very soon in the video, but I would really like if you paused right now and tried to see if you could figure out where points C and D are on this graph. Alright, let's take a look. Point C, again, I start here at the origin and I count left or right. In this case, it's to the right. 1, 2, 3. So a +3 is my first number because it's to the right. And then I need to look at up or down. I'm sorry, let's backtrack. That is not at 3. You're probably thinking that was weird. That is at 2. So +2. From here, I count down 1, 2, 3 spaces to get to C. That's in the negative direction, so -3 is my second number. And then now for D. I'm going to clear up some of this clutter. That way I don't confuse myself again. Starting at the origin, I count to the left 1, so -1. And then 1, 2 down, so that's -2. And that's the location of each point on the graph. These are their ordered pairs. Next, you want to be able to take ordered pairs and put them on the graph. And we're going to do that in a combination with a second type of question. We're going to talk about how do ordered pairs look in a chart, as well as what is the domain and range of a relationship. So in this example, express the relation as a table and a graph. Then state the domain and range. Well, for starters, we need to look at each of the ordered pairs. remember that an ordered pair is always an x comma a y. An x comma a y. So I want to start by placing those numbers in the appropriate spots on the chart. You see x is the left column and y is the right. So I can start by taking the first coordinate, -3, 1. -3 is my x and 1 is my y. And keep going down the list. So 2, 4, -1, 0, and 4, -4. Now, I want to talk about putting these on the graph. In many cases, you would be asked to figure out on your own, how do you want your graph to look? In this case, I'm going to stick with the standard that each of these is one space apart. I'm doing that strictly for ease right now. You saw or will see in one of the homework pages that is not always the case, and it makes us think a little bit before we put things on a graph. Let's start with -3, 1. If x is -3, it tells me to go to the left 1, 2, 3 spaces, and then go up 1 here. Then starting at the origin again, x is +2, so count to the right, and then +4 is up 4. Going back to the origin, I need to put -1, 0 on the graph. Well, -1 tells me to go down, and then, oh, I apologize, not down. X is my left to right. Therefore, I go to the left 1. And I actually can put a point right there because my y value is 0, meaning I am going to count 0 spaces up or down. So my point doesn't go anywhere. And now I'm going to end with +4, -4. I start at the origin, count to the right 4 spaces, and then -4 tells me to go down 4 spaces. So I need to make sure I have 4 coordinates on the graph. Now for domain and range, we can use D for domain and R for range. We're going to create a list of numbers. Lists of numbers are always enclosed in these squiggly brackets. Sometimes that's what people call. I've also pointed out some groups that if you put these two together, they kind of look like violins. Now, the domain. The domain is a list of numbers that tells us really just kind of how wide our graph is. Domain goes by a lot of other words. We've got pre-image, all sorts of things. What I want you guys to focus on is domain. It's just going to be your x values, where your y is your range values. And I want you to, in each of those lists, we're going to write in number order my x values for domain. So that's -3, -1, 2, and 4. Where in my range, I have -4, 0, 1, and 4. So for this lesson, again, it went really quick. Please pause the video and go back and double check each of these. It's not very long, so it won't take you very long to go back through it. But I just want you to be aware of the different tasks you're being asked to do in this lesson. It's very similar to lesson 1. And really, it's all one topic. So I hope this came off pretty easy. If not, again, Pause. Go back. Take another look.